because it's kind of overshadowed the European elections to some degree. Yes, this is a massive moment in Europe, but this is a huge moment in France as a result of that. Dave Keating, what's the reaction there?
Well, I think the important context here, and what I keep hearing people saying, is that what happened in France isn't being repeated at European level so far, according to the exit polls. We're not seeing a huge surge for the far right. We're seeing a growth for the far right in line with the trajectory of the past 2 decades. And we just got an updated projection based on exit polls with more countries involved. And actually, the numbers have gone down for the right from that initial projection. So people here, let me tell you, they are shocked about what Macron just announced in that speech. People are confused. They don't understand why he did it. They're all running to their French colleagues to try to explain why he might have done this. I think the French colleagues are equally confused. But then, of course, we also have the developments at European level, which aren't quite so dramatic. According to these exit polls, it looks like the centrist majority will hold in the parliament, and the far right will not have the numbers to form a right-wing controlling coalition with the center-right. That being said, those are only exit polls. We won't really have a reliable projection based on actual results until the last polls close in Italy at 11 p.m. But so far, what we've seen from exit polls is a bit of comfort to people in the center. Obviously, this is not a great night for the center, and particularly not a good night for the center left. They're having a terrible night here. But people are at least taking some comfort. People from the center are taking some comfort in the fact that that centrist majority looks like it will hold.
And Dave, if I can ask you to read the tea leaves when it comes to Ursula von der Leyen, the lead candidate of the EPP, which has come out with the largest number of projected seats here. She's saying we're going to avoid both extremes on the left and on the right. What does that tell you?
It's very interesting to parse those words, right? Because what she might be referring to there, actually, we're seeing around Europe a growth for far-left parties. The GUI group in the European Parliament, the far-left group, has always been very small. It looks like it could be somewhat of a bigger player here. It will still be small in number. That may be what she's referring to. I think some people who are climate activists will be worried that what she's saying there is trying to appease those in her own center-right EPP group who have criticized her European Green Deal, her raft of climate policies that have been enacted over the past 5 years, which have come into criticism from her own party, her own group, which she does need the support of in order to become European Parliament president, as European Commission president. It's clear from the numbers that, as we expected, her EPP group will come first. By tradition, the party, the group that comes first in the election should have the Commission presidency, but I should point out that's just tradition, and actually this is really just up to the 27 leaders of the European Union. I would say, though, looking at these results, it looks like she's in good shape. She would have been worried if there were the numbers on the right to have a controlling coalition with the far right and the center right. I think she might be too moderate to have survived a confirmation vote with that majority. It does not look like that happened. I would say, based on what we're seeing so far with the exit polls, Ursula von der Leyen is probably okay.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one to call, Dave, isn't it? I was there in the same place in 2019 where it looked like Manfred Weber was the man for the European People's Party. They called it the Spitzenkandidat, and the lead candidate, suddenly it was Ursula von der Leyen. So let's see. Let me bring in Jean-Claude Trichet. Jean-Claude, I just want to get your view Europe-wide for the moment. You were nodding when Dave was talking about this picture in France, the doubling of the score for the far right, but not necessarily reflected across Europe.
Absolutely not. As I said, the former majority is, again, the majority in the new